What the fuck? Ah!
Hey guys, what's up? It's the Minecraft Sauce here today doing another Blender tutorial because you guys have been liking the Blender tutorials. I'll do some more for you. And so today we'll be making realistic kind of Minecraft terrain. And so the first thing you're going to need for this is, well, obviously Blender, but the second thing is Mineways. And basically Mineways is a program that allows you to 3D print Minecraft if you have a 3D printer, but it also takes it and puts it into an OBJ file, which Blender can therefore read, and you can play with it in the animation software. So after you've downloaded that, just go to File, Open World, look for your world, alright, and I've chosen this world, and so you can just use your left click to kind of move around, whoops, and then use your right click to select the bits. So I can change this. You don't want to make it too big because your computer, depending on how good it is, may not be able to handle it. So if you make it like this big, it's probably going to lag or crash. So I'm just going to do this, and the next thing you need to do after you've selected it is adjust the lower depth, so how far amount of blocks like you want the OBJ file to be. So as we can see over here, this pink bit here, it's not really selected, but we can lower the depth a bit, right, as you can see, like that. And so 60, 60, 59, that's what we want it at, and you can even adjust the max height. So now we can go into File, Export for Rendering, save it as whatever you want, and then Wavefront OBJ, make sure it stays like this, and then save. I'm going to cancel because I've already saved this. And so now you can open up Blender, whoops, and then once you've done that, you'll have the default scene. So just delete the cube, File, Import, Wavefront OBJ, find where you saved the file. So I saved it in my Blender saves as NPC Village. Make sure you click the .obj instead of the MTL. Another thing I actually forgot to go over is when you go into Export for Rendering and you save it, this will pop up, this menu, and there's two important things that you're going to need to remember. One is center model and the other is an individual block. So when you export with center model, basically all the blocks will come together as this plane like form and makes it easier for your computer to compute and render, I guess. And individual blocks, it's individual blocks, so it's going to be a lot more harder because they're going to have all four sides. So I've exported as a center model, and now when we render this we have a few different issues. One of them you can't really tell from here, but the first one is pretty obvious. We have a lot of black spots everywhere and we want to correct that. And the second one is the sky is just gray. I guess the third one would be the dim lighting, and the fourth one is actually blurry textures, and it's pretty ugly. So we're first going to correct the lighting. So just go into the World tab here, change the horizon to a white, and then blend sky so that we can add another color in there, and then the zenith color to maybe a light blue, depending on how you want the sky. You could do even a dark blue. Alright, now the next thing you want to do is check environment lighting and change the energy to about 0.7, just so we don't have too bright of a lighting. Or even if you're doing maybe a dark scene at nighttime, you can change it to 0.1 and turn on some stars and then fiddle with those settings. Now if we render this, we've got well, a better looking scene so far, but it's not fixed because it was, as we can see, we've got like the flowers, the textures are a bit blurry, the glass is screwed up, and so we're gonna fix that now. So starting off with non-transparent materials in Minecraft, just right click something like stone and then go into the texture tab, make sure it's on the material texture part, then go image sampling, and then uncheck interpolation. So this will fix the automatic sampling that happens on high resolution or lower resolution images that are UV edited. And then change the filter from EWA to feline, which will eliminate our white lines that we will see if we don't do that. Now you can do the same with any solid material, but for transparent materials it is slightly different. So right click glass, the first thing we want to do is uncheck interpolation and change the filter to feline, so that'll fix the blurry texture. Then scroll all the way up, and then there will be something called D009 just below KD029. You want to uncheck that because it disrupts the alpha and makes things black. And yeah, so that's that. And now with these torches or these flowers, you can do the same thing. And if you find that the flowers are interfering with maybe a corner, like right here, I'll just put my camera right here and render this. As you can see, we've got the flower and it's kind of like derping out here. Well, you can fix that, but it's not gonna be, it can screw up some other things by making the flower lighter. It won't have a shadow. Just go into the material tab next to the texture tab and uncheck traceable. Then when we render this, this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look normal, but it's gonna look brighter, and there will not be a shadow around it. So as you can see, the grass is still blurry, so we want to correct that, and this is still blurry, so I'm going to correct that and the rest of the textures. Alright, so now that I've fixed that, I've got something that looks like this. The textures are no longer blurry, and so now we're gonna do something with this. As you can see here, there's it looks kind of noisy. If you know what noise is, it's kind of like static. And so we can correct this by going into world, and then where it says gather, you can change the samples to 10. It'll take longer to render, and I only recommend doing this when you actually want to render the entire thing, but it will look completely, well, it'll look a lot better. So I'm just going to put this to 4 actually right now, since I am only pretending to render just little bits and parts. And so the next thing we're going to do to make the Minecraft terrain look better is the water. We're going to make realistic water. So I'm going to select this water here, and I'm going to go into the material tab. So we can change the color if we want to a darker blue, and we can turn the specular to maybe 0.1, so that's like how reflective the sun is off of it, or you know, that little white spot on the cube if you mess with specular. And we're gonna take out the texture here, so we're just going to delete this texture here and delete this texture here. So now it no longer has texture, it's just based off of the material. And here we've got another problem that we need to fix. There's transparency. We're going to change it from Z transparency to ray trace so it looks nice, and change the alpha up a little bit. Then go down to mirror, check it so that we can have reflectivity, and change it to 0.3 or whatever you want. You can fiddle around with the settings. And now if we render this, we have reflective water. I mean, it isn't quite wavy. We could achieve that if we wanted to, but you don't really need to. If you truly wanted to, search up an ocean modifier tutorial for Blender and you'll instantly know. But there's realistic water for you, and that's pretty cool. So now you can kind of move your camera around the scene and render at different places by pressing the dash on your number pad, or if you don't have that, you can configure the controls. As we can also see, we've got a little bit of a shadow here, which is pretty handy, and that's all because I left the lamp where it is. In our scene we have a lamp right here, and it's broadcasting kind of a shadow and it on top of the ambient occlusion or lighting, and so it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the video tutorial for today. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot. Please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to the video. I hope it really helped you, and look forward to future Blender tutorials. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm the Minecraft Sauce. See ya.